Hi there, this is James from Burton Boat Sales. I'm really pleased to show you today the joystick system from Yamaha. This is our used Murray Fisher 1095 that we have here, and I just want to show you an overview of how the joystick works and how effective it is. We've got following this, you'll see a sort of running commentary with the actual boat coming off of this mooring and making its way out just purely using the joystick control. And it is the first time I used the joystick from Yamaha on that video, so it really will demonstrate how easy it is to get used to it. So these are the Yamaha twin 300 horsepower units on here. You can have it on the other engine options. These are now fitted with an electronic steer, which is all mounted at the engine itself. It's a really good system. It's neat, it's tidy, and the nice thing is on this one with the 300s, when the engines are out of the water, there's no part of the engine actually sitting in the water, which is great. So you're not getting any build up from the seaweed and so forth. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the joystick and let me explain what it does, because it is amazing. So let's have a look at this joystick. I want to go through what the different options are that come on it. So here's the Yamaha joystick. It's a nice looking unit. So with the joystick itself, it's very easy to engage. You literally just push the joystick button and it'll engage. We haven't got the engines running at the moment, so nothing will happen. So with it, if you want to go forwards, you push the lever forward. If you want to go backwards, you push it backwards. The nice thing with that is the further you push it forward, the more power it uses. And I'm going to come back to the power in a moment. If you want the boat to go sideways, you push the lever to the port side or the starboard side, depending on which way you want to go. With that, as you go into the side, if you find that the bow isn't quite coming as quick as the stern, if you just put a bit of turn, it will speed up to pull the bow in line again. And also with this, if you want the boat to turn, you can literally turn it on the top and it'll allow the boat to rotate. And you'll see that in the video when we do it overhead a little bit later. So really easy to use. Whichever way you want to go, just use the joystick. Now, talking of power. So on the unit, you have 5 thrust settings. So if you're on a confined area and it's not a particularly windy day, you don't want too much power coming to the engines. So you can go from sort of 1 or 2, which I recommend is where you sort of learn the system, to be fair. And then when you want more power, you can literally just push and then it'll increase the power. And you'll see that in the videos, the boat suddenly speeds up as we come out of the channel that we're in here. Now, this joystick has got some really clever further functions on it. It has, first of all, stay point. That will hold the boat in this location with the boat keeping the exact same heading and trying to stay exactly where the boat is according to the GPS signal. Really good system. And when you're in that, you can actually, with the boat, if you wanted, say you're queuing at a lock and you just want to move forward 10 feet, you just give it a push and then the boat will move forward and then stay in that exact same position. And you can equally do that. Push it that way. It'll then do 10 feet and go across to your port side by 10 feet. It's a brilliant, brilliant setup. Really easy to use as well. So, other than stay point, we've got 2 other buttons we can push. One is the fish point. So if we push the fish point button and we're all fishing off the back of the boat, the bow of the boat will allow that to sort of stray around, but it will keep the stern of the boat in the exact same location. So if you're fishing off the back, really helpful, really work well. Then you've also got drift point. Drift point will keep the boat with the same heading, but if you've got a tidal flow or the wind, it'll allow the boat just to go with the flow. So if you're fishing off the side there and the boat's going that way, you'll be going with the actual current of the sea, and your lines aren't going to be going under the boat. So really good feature. And literally, if you ever need to come out of the joystick mode, you can just put that literally in gear, and it will alleviate from the joystick straight away. So really good, nice and simple to use. Also, one of the added benefits with this system is the fact that you've got autopilot as well, which is all just here, very straightforward. I won't go into detail with that now, but that is also a very good system. So let's get her out on the water and let you see how she actually responds to the joystick. Now just pushing the joystick across to the left port side to bring the boat off of the linear mooring there, and it also gives me a bit of space to go forwards in a second as well. As you can see, it's moving the joystick forwards, giving that little bit of forward propulsion. I'm going to get quite close to the port side vessel because as I start to turn, I don't want to clip the bathing platform on the pontoon. So now I'm coming out to a point where I've got just enough space. I can now start to turn the joystick and start to bring the vessel round. And as you can see, it's seamlessly spinning. And I'm also going to give it a little bit of forward motion at the same time, so it gives me a fairly seamless exit from the berth itself. And if you look at the wash, you can see which engines are working and how they're operating as I bring the vessel round. Now there is a bit of a light breeze, and we're about to come out of the channel. So what I want as I come out is going to be a stronger wind. So what I'm going to do is I want now to have a bit more thrust from the engine. So a simple push of a button, and I've increased the amount of thrust. And you can see that by when I've pushed that lever forward. Look at the increased speed that the boat now has. So it does make it very controllable. You've got 5 settings on the level of power that you'll get from the engines when you're using the actual joystick itself. Now, we're coming out the end of the channel here, and there is a wind coming directly on our port side. You may be able to see it on the water, you may not. It's a little bit of a breeze, but obviously it's right on the port side. I'm going to spin the boat where she is, so I'm just going to turn that joystick and I'm going to bring it right round into the wind. And I'm not using a bow thruster or anything like that. I'm just using purely the joystick, which is using the engines independently. And as you can see, even with that wind across our bow, the vessel is spinning on our axis very comfortably there. Now, the benefit with this is I can spin, and I'm going to want to start to go forwards as well, because the wind will obviously be pushing us back a little bit. So all I need to do is, whilst I'm turning, I can then just give it a little bit of forward motion and across to a slight angle, and that will start to bring me forwards as if I was going to head back down that channel. So as you can see, it's very simple to use. It makes boating very easy.